Welcome to Season 7, the NGO Grit. This season, Just Talk Therapy podcast brings you the stories of some amazing people who dedicated their time, money, energy, etc. selflessly, just for a cause. They held humanity first and thus made a difference in the society in their own ways. Today, we have a passionate guest from Odisha, Mr. Kedar Chaudhury. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome, welcome.
And sir, if you could just share about yourself and the NGO to our listeners.
Yeah, sure, sure. My name is Kedar Chaudhury. I lead a NGO called Darbar Sahitya Sansad in Odisha, and I have been leading the organization since last 20 years. If I tell little bit about regarding my past, I am a rural boy. I was born and brought up in a village in Odisha, and my studies, initial studies, were completed in Odisha up to HSC level in the villages. After that, I moved to nearby city like Bhubaneswar for my higher studies. But during my village life, I there was a small library in my village, and the youth and the children were congregated there every day for reading books, discussing different things. So that was a point of meeting different friends and elderly people. So actually that was the breeding ground for my social work in my life. So I was there. I was going there to reading books and mixing with the people. We started some literary and sports activities with the youth people in my childhood. And from my childhood, I had a sense of towards the society, like not the society exactly, but towards the poor and needy. Because I have seen in my home, not a single beggar even no goes without having a meal in my home. So my mother used to feed most of the beggars who come to our house. So that was a feeling towards the poor and needy. And second feeling was my father was also very open-minded, because I remember that when my childhood, when we urged for for celebrating Diwali and for crackers, then he said that whether you want to spend some money with the crackers, or you want to spend some money with utilize that money to helping a needy family. Then we said, okay, give them, because they don't have food, you give them. So that was the passion since the childhood for the poor and needy. So that was my passion. But when I started doing the studies in colleges, when I was coming to village, again the friends were again meeting and discussing that how to start the social work, how to do the social work, youth work, literary work, plantation, those kind of community activities, how to start. And we started little bit during that phase. But again, for studies, we have to go to the towns.
Right.
And after completing our studies, during my studies, I get a passion to become a fighter pilot.
Oh.
So I joined NCC for that, Air Wing NCC. I
Okay.
did some gliding, flying, firing, parajumping, and lot of trainings I could took in that. And my aim was to become a fighter pilot. But unfortunately, somehow I could not complete that exam, and all the certificates I could not do. So I could not achieve, and I could not go to join the Air Force. But that was a low point, low no moment for me. But my social work was my partial work while I coming back to the village. So then I started concentrating. Okay, I'll focus more my entire life in doing social work. So when we completed the post graduation, my stream was commerce. I was doing MCom. So after MCom, after some MA and BA, my friends did 6 or 7 of our friends. We decided that from the village, we decided that we will form an organization or a social organization, and through that we will start our work.
Right.
We started our work after that by registering the organization as a literary youth organization for social justice. So that was the history, and that was the scene behind starting the social work.
It's a very interesting story behind how you started this social work. Like, the struggle that you had gone through when you were a kid, you saw that yes, there is a need to do something regarding the literary aspect and the sports activity that you took up. And again, it's very interesting to know that you were pursuing towards being a fighter
Pilot.
pilot, right?
Yeah, or I did all my training, but I could not somehow, some certificates were wanting, I could not complete that. So that was a low moment for me for some days.
So how
So,
did you cope in those? Because yes, if that was your dream and you could not do it at that point of time.
yeah.
So
So
how did you?
I thought that this was my dream of youth, my youth.
Okay,
But my dream of childhood was social work.
right.
So when it collided, then I decided that okay, I will do something because the youth is full of thrills, and so that's why I thought okay, I will serve for Indian Air Force for some time, and after that again I will return to social work. But when that did not work, then okay, I think okay, if God decides that I am not going to that thing, okay, let us concentrate on my social work. So I started concentrating on my social work, how to get trainings under, because I was not trained, I was not a MSW. So I
Okay.
was not. So I attended different training programs in NIRD Hyderabad, in AIRD Bangalore, in NIPSID New Delhi. Lot of training programs I undergone after that. I kept my engaged in those training programs. And so that gave us encouragement, like me and my other friends also, they were also into that learning phase. So we took lot of experience, training, and the total outlook towards the social work, how it is done. So that was quite encouraging to us, and we were learning. So I just diverted my entire low moment to the social work training.
So you converted your low moment into your strength and pursued your own childhood dream also. So it's like a very good state also that you had experienced both the sides.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And who was your support system at that point?
No, I remember that actually there was no support system when I started my training in social work, that learning phase. When I started, there was no support system because our organization was just registered. There was
Okay.
no money. My family also, they did not like that I should totally devote to social work. My father told me that okay, you go for government jobs. And when I was not supporting him, not I was not favoring doing a government job. Then he said that okay, you cannot do anything because this social work will not give anything in return. So you have to earn. So that's he tell that okay, I am taking. He was a government servant. He said that I will be taking a volunteer retirement. You just join my position,
Oh,
a lower division clerk. But I was not at all interested to doing a government job. From very beginning, I decided that I will not go for government job. I will go for social work. So that's why I much against their will, I joined the social work, and for almost 10 years they didn't believe me that what he is doing. He was not believing in me that what he is doing, what is his future. They were very skeptical about my joining doing the social work. So that was a very a movement that was
It
not
must have
very much.
been, yeah, it must have been very tough to handle the issues at home as well as trying to do your bit in the social sector.
Yeah.
It,
And the support system only the friends and their encouragement.
and I am really happy and hats off to all your friends who supported you and also your parents' prayers somewhere when they were not believing you, you were more responsible to do something so that they can actually believe in you.
Yeah.
So somewhere they had must have had the confidence that you have the ability, but since I'm sure it must be a very new thing for them, so it takes time to accept.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And what would you like to share with our listeners about your NGO? What kind of work do you all do?
Yeah, my NGO is actually, I said that the total history, I said that we started with youth work, literary activities, sports activities, plantation activities. That we started like these small things without funds.
Okay.
But when we devoted ourselves in learning phase, 3 years we went here and there to training, got exposure to different fields, and we knew a little bit about fundraising and all. So that gave us courage, and that helped us to applying to different departments, government departments, to different agencies, to how to mobilize funds for doing the work. So that helped. And after doing for 5 years, around 1995, because our NGO is 40-year-old NGO, it was registered in 1985.
Okay. Wow.
And in 1995, we did a study. We said that, okay, we will do some scientific approach to our work, not doing here and there, this thing, that thing, that thing. So we conducted a study with the help of Javier Institute of Management here in Bhubaneswar. So in that social mapping and study, we found out that the problems of the poor women, and especially belonging to the scheduled caste, because where we were working, started our work, there was no scheduled tribe, but only scheduled caste people, or other backward caste people were there. So their social and economic level or capacity is very low. So then we decided that we will focus on this aspect, and we will focus on economic empowerment of the poor women. So that was our sole motto. We started with that since 1995. We started promoting self-help groups. More than 1,000 self-help groups we have promoted in Puri and Khurda. And then some rural energy. Again, that too, reducing the drudgery of the women, like smokeless chulas, biogas plants, those kind of activity. Sanitation for the women, for the family. So those kind of activity, we started with that. Women empowerment, that to economic empowerment. And we believe that SHG groups, the small savings, small credit, and small enterprise activities will provide the economic benefit to the women. When the women will be empowered with the economic power, then automatically her social empowerment will happen. Otherwise, by doing the meetings and trainings, the social empowerment will not happen.
Very true.
So that was our motto, and we started doing that. Still, after 25 years also, we are focusing on that. That is our main objective: how to economically empower the women. Then we started SHG bank linking, then small microfinance activity, then enterprise promotion in rural livelihoods like dockery, dairy, poultry, goatery, then small agro processing, then this kind of activities we started, that how the women will be get empowered. So still we are on that line. And in addition to that, we started in two districts, Puri and Khurda. Those are coastal districts. But
Okay.
in addition to that, gradually we expanded to other districts. Right now we are working in 5 districts. Two are the tribal districts, like Kandhamal and Mayurbhanj, they are the tribal districts.
So you are
Then
only,
gradually,
sorry, sir, to just interrupt. I would like to know, so you are focused only in Odisha.
yes, yes, only Odisha, because our registration doesn't permit us to go outside Odisha. We are
Okay.
not a national level registered organization.
Okay.
We want to be, because the people sometimes by looking at our work, some people also invite us to come here and do something here, but that is not happening because of our registration concentration, the constraints. So in addition to this women empowerment livelihood, one is agriculture and allied sector, and another is the craft sector. We have promoted a number of craft clusters in Odisha. These crafts include applique, coir toys, golden grass, sabai grass, dhokra, terracotta, palm leaf engraving. Those kind of clusters we tried to promote and create livelihood for the women through those crafts. So that is another area of livelihood we promote. In addition to that, you must be knowing that in 1999 super cyclone happened in Odisha. Lots of 60,000 people died. So that was a geography changer in the entire coastal Odisha. The entire geography was changed. No,
The
big
coastal,
trees,
right.
big trees uprooted. Livestock, number of 90% of the livestock died. So lot of things happened there during that time. So after that, in super cyclone, one agency came called Concern Worldwide. With the help of this Concern Worldwide, we started doing the relief and rehabilitation of the people. Relief operation and the rehabilitation of the agriculture, rehabilitation of the housing, rehabilitation of the social capital. So lot of things we started doing that. That gave us one aspect of one experience in doing the disaster management. And
Right.
since then, we are very active in disaster management. After that, lot of floods happened in Odisha. The coastal Odisha is susceptible to floods and cyclones.
Correct.
So we worked in most of the floods and cyclones. And besides working in Odisha, at the capacity of a volunteer, I was a team member in the Concern Worldwide team, and I had the experience of working in Gujarat earthquake in 2001, 2000, Tamil Nadu tsunami, Bihar Assam floods. So I have, as a capacity of a volunteer, I have worked over there with the international team. So that is another experience in disaster management. Right now, also with the state government of Odisha, we are doing DRR, disaster risk reduction, village level mapping, preparing the community how to face the disaster, coping with the disaster, and what is the long-term preparedness, what is the short-term preparedness. Those kind of activities we are still doing in disaster management.
Okay,
So that is
would like to also know when you were interacting with people, so any incident that stands out in your memory?
yeah. I remember when in a disaster in a flood situation when three of us were going through a boat, going on a boat that actually that boat was about to sink. It was no came in contact with a whale. What we said,
Okay.
uh, भंवर में फंस गया.
Right.
And we were about to drown because we didn't have any protective those dresses and all. We didn't have anything, but the boatman was so clever that he could save us in with his. So I have seen the death from very closely. So that was a moment I remember that moment very well.
So, like, so these all are the challenges of any person in who is there at the ground level.
Yeah.
So, what would you like to share with our youth or the listeners?
Actually, youth are the future of this country. When I was young, I was not knowing my lot of things I was not concentrating on, because youth, you have a very free mind, very flying mind, and you don't analyze very critically, or you don't analyze very intensively. But after these experiences, I always talk to youth, because youth should, skill development programs, talking to the college students, NSS students, then talking in different social work colleges. I go everywhere, and I always say them that, okay, uh, start aiming, and start doing the work towards that aim. Because I have experienced that there was no aim. I had some passion, but there was no aim in my life when I was a youth. Because in Odia we called Doibo Doudi Manisha Gai, Janiki Tanibo Seniki Jai. I was not sure whether I should focus more on this, or I should focus more on that. But there was no future. I was not seeing very rosy future. But I always tell to the youth that you always look for a rosy future, a target you have to fix. I have to be there, and you start doing small, little things, and you will progress. There will be failures, but if you constantly go on doing that, you will one day you will reach to the destination, and you will be successful. Because I always tell that in my life also, I work till 11 o'clock in the night, and I always say that lage raho munna bhai.
Okay.
That is my, I
Right.
always say that lage raho munna bhai.
So, you did achieve what you started off in your journey, and you have changed so many people's lives and saved so many people and given wings to so many people's dream also.
Yeah, yeah.
That's wonderful. And if people would like to contact you to just take your guidance or know more about your work, how should they do so?
Yeah.
If you could share your social media link or any website or anything.
Yeah. Okay. I will say.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. I will share everything, all the things with you. But now I am saying that my number, you can note that 98610 22440. This is my telephone number, and our website is www.dssodisha Odisha.org.
Okay, so this is to all the listeners that I will be sharing all the links Sir will be sharing with me. Please check out the post. And he has shared his number. It is 98610 22440. So,
Yeah.
in case if you have any query, please feel free to contact him. Just send him a message and take your time because he is a busy man and he will definitely reply. And sir, you can
Yeah,
be such
sure.
a
I'll be
good.
happy.
That's so nice of you. And I'm sure even if you cannot reach out to other states, your work can be a role model for those who would like to start the NGOs.
Yeah. I am very much interested that people should, because nowadays the government scenario, or the public no notion, or the public they NGOs no credibility is not very good with the government and the public. So
Right.
we want to. One of my objective is to increase the dignity and the credibility of these NGOs. I always see that I must have help in promoting more than 20 small youth groups and NGOs, CSOs. So I always try to promote good NGOs with good values, with good practice. So if I can help anybody in promoting those NGOs, those small CSOs, small groups, I will always try to be helpful.
It's really wonderful, and you have correctly said, sir, that yes, the NGO work is just taken off like as any other work and not so reputed and not given
Yeah,
its credibility and appreciation. But in
yeah,
reality, there is so much work done by the NGO people and the entire team, and it is not an easy task.
yeah,
It is like, again, my entire aim of dedicating this season to the NGO founders is the very reason that people should be more aware about the fact that there is so much work which is respected and worth mentioning and sharing, which is done by the NGO people.
yeah, yeah,
And I really thank you, sir, for whatever you have done and
yeah,
keep inspiring people.
yeah, yeah. Thank you very much for inviting us. So we will do it together.
Yes, sir. I totally believe in it. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. And if at all you want to say anything before we just end the episode.
Yeah. No, nothing much. We'll keep on persistently. We will keep on doing this, and the people who lose belief that it is not NGOs' work is not respected or not acknowledged, but the satisfaction you get by helping a poor and needy, that never comes from anything. So just believe in that, and we will do together. We will try to boost the dignity and the credibility of this sector together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And it's a beautiful reminder and your wise words. Yes, together we all will try to bring the work of the NGO people to a dignified, accepted level. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome.
Take care. See you
Thank
soon. Bye.
you. Bye. Bye.
This is Mr. Kedareswar Chaudhury, also known as Mr. Kedar from Odisha, India. His NGO, Darbar Sahitya Sansad, has been working with poor and needy people, making their lives better and self reliant. We do hear stories of childhood friends getting together and doing something extraordinary. And now, listening to Mr. Kedar, it seems that yes, there are people and friends who chase a common dream together, irrespective of the fact that there is no support and guidance in their initial years. Helping once or twice and moving ahead will not solve the issue prevalent in the society. And as we listen to Mr. Kedar, that making women and youth self dependent and training them in various skills is the need of the hour. Mr. Kedar also urges the youth that they should have an aim in their life and keep working towards it every day. They should extend their help to the needy, and we all should come together with the common mindset and make NGO work respectful, accepted, and dignified. Mr. Kedar's vision is to encourage every individual to maintain a prosperous life with self dignity and concern for community and environment at large. Do connect with Mr. Kedar and learn how to make a difference in others' life by social work. On that note, I end today's episode. Hope to see you next week with another inspiring guest and their journey. Till then, take care and be safe. Bye.